What's up, everybody? Thank you so much for listening. I wanted to put this in the top of the show. Make sure you subscribe on Patreon, patreon.com/Brennan Tassif. Check out the merch store at brennantcomedy.com to get your ex-drinking buddy merch. Subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. As always, we're coming to you live from Gotham Production Studios, and I hope you enjoy the episode.
Grab me a beer and grab me a coke. We bout to sit for an hour, bullshit and tell jokes. And please don't mix it up, cause he done sobered up. Brennan T Comedy on your social media feeds. And Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy. Brennan Tassif is your ex drinking buddy.
What's up, everybody? Welcome into another edition of Brennan Tassif is your ex-drinking buddy. There's going to be a graphic there. I'm your host, Brennan Tassif. If you're new to the show, quick rundown of the show. I used to be everyone's favorite drinking buddy. It was my favorite thing to do. Hang out with friends, get drunk, do drugs, get in all sorts of trouble, and then reminisce about those crazy old stories. I am sober now, but that is still one of my favorite things to do. Hang out with someone and reminisce about the good old days. Most weeks I will be joined by a guest. This week is no exception. All the way from New York City, Leo Confrese. What up, man?
What up, G?
How you doing?
Good.
I'm happy you came on. I've been wanting to have you on for a while. Plug everything up front for the listeners. Let them know where they can find you, where they can see you, any shows you got coming up, anything like that.
Leo Comedy 7 on Instagram. I got a few shows at my Hello? I can't hear myself.
You can't hear yourself?
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. Yo, you could find me at I perform at LOL all the time. You could find me there. Any upcoming shows, I have it on my Instagram. So follow me. I'm always on the Gate podcast, so you could check me out there too.
On the Gate.
On the Gate.
That's with friends of the show, Derek Drescher and Gio Perez.
We're all formerly reformed criminals.
Yeah, I was gonna say reformed. You're all reformed criminals. Well, that's the thing. I'm trying to get everybody, because it's weird. We were talking about this before we went live, but I've had people on, like just regular people.
Yeah. And
then I'll try to be like, oh yeah, that one time I got arrested, and they're like, what? Or like the one time because I've been arrested so many times, it's like, yeah, sometimes the cops and they're like, oh my God. And I'm like, oh man, that's why I like having you guys on, because you're just like, yeah, man, doesn't it fucking suck?
Dude, I've been arrested like 17, 19 times. So.
Really?
Yeah. So.
Well, let's get into it.
Most of them were for hopping the train, because I caught a felony young.
Yeah.
And then like when I changed my life, I was like, I'm going to fucking face every consequence, so I wouldn't run like fucking monkey. Yeah, I should have ran
like a fucking nerd.
Yeah,
dude.
What a nerd. I think back at that, I'm like, what a pussy, dude.
I think about that all the time. Certain times where I was arrested, where it's like you could have just walked away.
Yeah,
like they're not gonna chase you.
Yeah.
I want to talk. So many things I want to get into. Like you said, the felony young I want to talk about, and I know you've got some bits about it, so you don't have to burn those. But that's definitely a story I want to get into. But before we get into all of that, I want to know how you got into stand-up. Because, again, a lot of times I have people on and they're like, oh, I liked comedy and stuff. But you were going down a path that had nothing to do with show business or entertainment. Right. And, it could have gotten you killed. And now you're, a hilarious comic. And some of the stories you tell, I really relate to, because it's the same thing in my situation where it's like, I want to talk about the stupid shit that I did.
Yeah.
And sometimes audiences are like, huh? And then sometimes they're like, fuck yeah.
Yeah, dude.
So how did stand-up even get on your radar?
Right. So I just wanted to really like stand-up, so I went to open mic.
That's a callback. He's a professional, ladies and gentlemen.
God damn it. No, okay. So something's wrong with the headphone. So it's good now. So, like growing up, I've always wanted to be funny, because my twin brother is very conversationally funny. Okay. And I was always very serious.
Yeah.
Right? I was always a serious dude. And I try to be goofy. I was always like goofy, like energetic, but people always found it annoying. So I never thought I was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I know exactly what you mean.
So I was like, oh, I'm always annoying.
I'm living with my ex who shares that same sentiment. One time.
For real?
Yeah. Well, because we broke up, but the new place I'm moving into is until February. And so I was like, well, I guess I'm just going to stay here, because I'm still in the lease. I'm like,
yeah, fuck that.
And she was like, yeah, that's fine. But it's weird, because those are things she's told, like when we first started dating, she's like, I thought dating a comic would be funnier. but I'm just like silly, and like she just finds it annoying.
Oh yeah.
So like what you're talking about, where it's like people just get annoyed, and so I'm like, maybe I'm not, and especially as a kid, I'm always the one trying to be the center of attention, and then especially people closest to you are like, shut the fuck up.
Oh yeah, they never understood it. That's why when I started comedy, I felt like, oh, not to be a fucking. But I was like, oh, these are my people.
Yeah.
These are the people that get, like, even if I bomb, they're like, you're bombing, dumbass.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But they're not like, you're annoying, because we're always.
Yeah, we're doing
it's fun. It's
well, and that's the thing, too, is I texted someone this the other day. They were talking about they went to the Comedy Cellar to see a show, and someone bombed. And I was like, oh, a bad bomb is as good as a fucking great set.
Yeah.
When you're in the back of the room as a comic, and then you get that delayed laughter, like they hit a punchline, and then it's like 1, 2, and then all the comics laugh because they're like, that joke didn't work,
nigga. Or like I've done where like the audience isn't laughing, but I'm getting all the comics to laugh.
Oh yeah, that's another big
the
one.
audience doesn't get it, and all the comics I get
all the
off,
broken toys in the back are like, fuck yeah,
fucked up, and I roast the fucking. At one point, I remember I did when I first started. I pretty much did a show for just the comics because I started off because it was a lot of older people in the audience. I was like, listen, I'm going to tell jokes, but you probably are not going to get them because you can't hear good. And the comics was just like, oh, fuck yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Yeah.
How did you even find comedy?
So I legit always wanted to be funny. I think.
Yeah.
So I think being funny gets you everywhere you want in life. I've always felt that way. Especially like something that solidified it was, remember Cardi B? She was a stripper, and then the only reason she had so much success was people like to be around her because she was funny.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
People gravitate towards that,
dude, and she's mad fun to hang out with. You're good people, whatever. So I always understood that. I never understood comedy though, which is weird. I would never like laughed at it like that.
Okay,
because I never understood why people laugh.
Yeah, well, comedy. And this is the weird thing is because people go like, oh, tell me a joke. And then you tell them a joke and they'll be like, I don't think that's that funny. And it goes, well, it's completely subjective.
Yeah.
So like comedy, like food, like art, it's all subjective.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like some people can look at something and be like, that fucking sucks. And someone else could be like, I'm going to pay $10 million for that.
Exactly. So for me, what I realized, the reason I didn't understand comedy was because I'm a dumb person. I swear to God, I realized this about myself. Dude, I told my...
All by myself. You were so proud of that. All by myself.
All by myself, my nigga. You know, because you're dumb. You don't know that you're stupid as shit. Bro, tell me how... So I used to love one-liners because it was the only thing I could kind of grasp.
Yeah.
Because I didn't understand irony at all.
Yeah.
I didn't understand when somebody's being ironic. I was like, and what else? Okay, continue speaking.
Did you ever see Guardians of the Galaxy?
Yeah.
That's the Batista character. They're like, oh, he doesn't get. They're like, oh, it went over his head, and he goes, I would catch it.
Yeah,
he doesn't get it.
Yeah. I would.
He doesn't get it. Yeah.
I was that dude, and then. Really, my bro died, right? And like
your twin brother?
No, like a really close friend, like one of my best friends, and he passed away. Then after he passed away, like 2 years later, I was like, you get devastated when somebody passes.
Hell
you
yeah,
know?
man.
And like it fucking really changes you. And he's the second close person that I had die.
Okay.
And when my cousin died, I went to therapy. I was like, I gotta change my life.
How old are you when this happened?
Well, my cousin died like 21.
Okay.
And then when I cried even more than my cousin. That was my closest friend. He's the reason why I started like doing Muay Thai and like really like just getting a lot of my anger out and really talking and thinking about stuff. So when he died, I cried like a little kid.
Yeah.
Like I've never cried that hard. I cried so much my mom started crying.
Oh, really?
Like I was sobbing in the like I've never cried. Like it's weird. It's so odd. And then
it's a very primal thing too when something like that happens.
Dude, it was crazy. Dude, I cried for literally a whole day.
Yeah, because I've lost a lot of people, be it acquaintances all the way up to really close friends. Obviously, being in and out of the program, you meet a lot of people and then people die. That's just what happens. And it's such a weird thing that when they're just because it's one thing when it's your grandparents or your parents. People get older and then they die. That's what happens.
Yes.
But when someone's like in their 20s. And, especially in my case with one of my buddies, he had just had a kid and he's like, this is what's going to get me sober. And then within 2 years, he was dead from an overdose. And I was like, you got it. But it's the same thing where you're just like like I just cried and cried because I was like, what the fuck? Like, how is this even fair?
Yeah. It's like, dang. Oh, man, it was so bad.
So what happens? That happens, and then you kind of figure out how to deal with it?
So I was at a point in my life where I was like, if I don't figure this shit out, I'm going to kill myself.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not going to live my life sad. I'm not going to live my life. So I promised myself within like 2 years, if I didn't figure it out, I'll self-destruct.
Mm-hmm.
So that was literally my plan. And then
I just want to real quick. I hear you say that, and that sounds completely rational to me because I've done the same exact thing. And I probably have listeners like, how are you just going to skate over? He was going to kill himself. And I was like, oh, I've been there. Who doesn't feel
you don't
like
think
that?
about killing yourself, pussy?
Yeah, right? Like
fucking puss.
You have, but I was there. That's what happened when I got sober. The last time I got sober, I remember I was 3 months sober, and I called my sponsor and I said, if my life is going to be working 2 jobs, going to the gym, and going to meetings, I'm out.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to do this anymore.
No.
And my sponsor was like, you have to find something you care about, something you're passionate about. And he's like, what about stand-up? You did that forever, and then you just stopped. And I got back into stand-up, and it saved my life. I was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. Not to be corny, but that shit, like, gave me purpose.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you find the reason that stand-up affected my life so much is that, you view yourself as a certain person, and then everybody around you is like, what?
Yeah.
And
they'll call you on your bullshit real quick.
Yeah, and then like when you're in stand-up, because I've always felt like I can be funny. I'm funny. I can, like, I know, like, I have it in me. And then when I was around stand-up comedians and we fucking roasted and we talked shit, and I really just felt like at home, no homo. And then has nothing to do with gay, but I'm just like, feelings, it's gay. And then I just really felt like, oh, fuck, this is... but then I talked to my friends and they were like, what are you talking about? You were always funny.
Oh, really? So they all kind of...
My friends were like, no, you were always funny.
That's the thing that kind of pisses me off.
Except one of my really close friends. He never understood my humor.
Oh, really?
So yeah, around him and my brothers, and they were like, oh, yeah. And then my boys were like, yeah, Leo's funny. What are you
It's funny when family comes to see me perform because their family, and then now, my ex-girlfriend, when they would come see me perform, it was that thing where they would see other people laughing, and then they would go, oh, we always thought he was just annoying as shit, but apparently he's actually fun. Like, I've had family members, and they've come around and they've gotten it. But you have to remember, like, if I'm like doing silly shit all day when we're all living together in the same house, like they could get annoyed at it.
Yeah.
But when you do it for 10, 15, 20 minutes on stage, people are like, that's hilarious.
Yeah, they're being silly.
But they don't have to live with it.
Yeah.
So it was one of those things where I've had, my sisters come to shows, and then afterwards they're like, that was like really good. And I was like, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. And they're like, no, but that was like really. And I'm like, thank you. So they've all come around. I was interested because what you said earlier about feeling at home with comics, there's this saying in AA where everyone goes, oh, I never felt like people understood me until I went to AA, which is understandable and reasonable. And I have felt that to a degree, but I've never felt it more so than with comics.
Exactly.
And which is weird because as a recovering addict and alcoholic, you think I'd feel that way 100% about the rooms, but I actually feel that way 100% about comics because it's like, oh, most of us are I don't want to say broken because that sounds dramatic, but most of us are seeking this validation and attention from strangers for a very powerful reason.
Yeah.
And in my case, it's because going through all the shit that I went through, I try to talk about that and make people laugh at it. Because it's like, yeah, any situation's funny.
Any, bro.
Which is like what you do. I know you've got the bit about when you first went to jail, the Xbox thing, which is hilarious. But it's like, it's that same kind of thing where it's like, no, this is funny. And I've even seen you like throw away lines about shooting people and stuff on stage.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like we said, sometimes people tense out, but I'm in the back like, he really has done that.
You know what was my favorite line that my boys we laugh about? I was like, you ever shot someone and seen the life leave their eyes? And everybody's like quiet. I was like, yeah, me either. I left the scene. And everybody's like, oh, okay, I get it.
I get it.
I'm being silly. I'm fucking around.
So let's talk about, before you got into stand-up, let's talk about some of the stories. Before we get into the ones you sent me, I wanted...
And during stand-up.
Oh, yeah, some of those too, yeah. But if you're okay talking about it, what was the thing that happened? I know you have the bits about it on stage and stuff, but what was the thing that happened where you got arrested and you got sent away? This is when you were younger.
Yeah. I got charged with possession of stolen items, and then I got sent away, and I got the and like the first thing they do when you go into juvie is Spofford. It doesn't exist anymore, but I went to Spofford, and first thing is that they check you in. They ask you mad random questions. You know, oh, do you do drugs? Do you fuck? Are you pussy? Just regular.
Just
you
regular
soft
questions.
nigga, so we could know where to put you, nigga. And then
They don't ask it like that, but they do ask that.
Yeah, they're like, "What's your charge?"
When I got locked up in South Florida, it was a much nicer jail than when I got locked up in Duval County in Northeast Florida. And because Palm Beach County, where I originally got incarcerated, is a very wealthy community.
Right.
So they pay high taxes, and those taxes go towards the state or the county jail. So the jail's nice. In Duval, it's a poor county. So the jail sucks. So they just kind of cramp. But because especially when you walk in and they don't see any violent crimes, they put you in certain floors and certain cell blocks with other non-violent effects. Because they're like, this guy's going to get fucking killed.
So this is the funny part. I was robbing houses. I found mad money. Dude, I found...
How you were 14 when you were doing this?
At 13.
13?
Dude, I was rich. I found $700 and something. I was like, yo! Oh, nigga, I'm gonna buy an apartment. I was just thinking, dude, dumb shit. So I'm like, I'm rich. So when I went to jail, and they were like, I'm locked up, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna leave in 2 days. I'm rich, bitch. And I was like, yo, you can put me wherever you want, wherever, nigga. I'm gonna get 2 lawyers. They were like, murder dorm. I was like, hold up, nigga. Hold up, dog. And they put me in the murder dorm for
Did they really?
For like a day or two. And then I was like, all I heard was niggas going crazy into the murder dorm. You know how I slept? I slept with, because they didn't lock the doors. So I slept with my mattress on the door with a soap in my sock.
Yeah.
And I just slept on the floor like that.
Yeah.
I was like, nobody's running into my room, and if they are, we're gonna fucking battle it out.
Something's gonna happen, yeah.
But I'm gonna get fucked up, but like, yeah, we're gonna run it up.
So how did you get into, because you grew up in New York, right? How did you get into that sort of a lifestyle? Was it just the way you grew up? Or I'm not trying to get like all like
no,
psychological.
Man. The thing is, my oppression of homosexuality. No, imagine. No, I think... You know what it is, man?
This would be a huge podcast. Yeah, we would get a huge bump if that's what.
Right? Yeah. You can see my nails that. No, you know what it was? Honestly, bro, I didn't know how to read. Bro, I learned how to read in jail.
Did you?
Like, actually learned. And I'm mad slow at reading.
This is something that people make fun of all the time. But you can learn some very significant skills. And like I would play when that Wordle came out and everyone was on Wordle.
Yeah.
I refused to play it. And people were like, why? And I was like, because I used to get my fucking ass kicked in Scrabble by dudes in jail. Like I'm not about to get fucking my ass kicked on Wordle too. And like I remember because I grew up in like a nicer community and my brother is a very like super genius level kind of guy. And he used to be really good at like chess and stuff like that. I'm sure he still is. But I remember being in jail being like, man, I'll school you. My brother taught me how to play chess. I'll school you. These dudes just sit around and play chess all day.
Bro.
And they would fucking beat me in like 4 moves. Yeah, and I was like,
nothing.
That's why when I see the dudes in the park playing chess, I'm like, nah, man, I'm not even
But a lot of those guys been to jail.
Yeah.
A lot of those guys are like, you know what I mean? They're like, yeah, man. Those people are smart in there, man.
So you learned how to read in jail.
So I was always an outcast, I felt. You know what I mean? And then... even with the people I hung out with, because I was always mad hyper and annoying, you know, and people were like annoyed with me. So I always felt like an outcast. And I didn't know how to read, so I was like, if I'm gonna be dumb and I'm not good at school, I'm gonna be the most violent. And I'm gonna get respect one way or another. I'm either gonna get respect from being smart, or people are gonna know that I don't have a problem taking your head off.
Better to be feared or respected.
Yes. So. Yeah, I'm getting that shit somehow. So that's what I feel like got me. Then I watch a lot of movies on it. I was like, yeah, I want to be a gangster.
So that's what you made the conscious choice, because I know some people fall into it. No. And I can see how easy it is to fall into that playing sports my whole life. Like you just want to be a part of a team. Yeah. So if you grow up in a rough area and you don't, for some reason you don't, because this happens a lot in South Florida, is kids will play sports and then, you know, all through high school, that's their crew. And then some of them get scholarships to go off to college, and they can't. It's not that they can't hack it. It's they're not around their same environment, and they fall apart. And then they come back, and then they get involved in gangs and stuff like that because they still want that camaraderie. They still want that team mentality. So for you were just like, no, I'm gonna I want to be a gangster.
Yeah, especially when I got locked up. Afterward, I was just full with anger.
Yeah,
you know, and like,
I'm very,
especially when I didn't do stuff like I should have beat a nigga up and I just let it rock because I didn't want more time. So that boils up in you, and you're like, I'm pussy. I'm being pussy. So I decided to join a gang because I wanted to see how pussy or tough I was.
Okay,
found out I'm pretty pussy.
Are you?
No, like look, listen. All seriousness, I would kill somebody in a heartbeat. That doesn't make you tough, though.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you tough at all.
What do you mean by that?
Because being tough is standing up for yourself.
Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying.
And standing up, like, so the reason, like, I don't think that's tough is because, like, I could, you know, stab a nigga mad times, but if somebody yelled at me, I'd lock up.
Okay. Well,
I was always, so for me, when it came to arguments, I was always so nervous because growing up, it would always lead into a fight in my house.
Yeah.
So I was like, it would hit fight or flight for me, and I'd lock up because I was like, I don't know what's happening. I'm not understanding what's happening, and I'm gonna have to fight. I was like, I don't even want to fight. I don't even think this is that serious.
So you just immediately go into that, like, I'm gonna have to fight.
Yeah.
It's interesting you say that because I completely agree with you. As we were talking about it, I kind of thought about it, and you're right because, like, just to go back to like being locked up, there were certain people I would talk to. And they were like, I was like, oh, what happened? They're like, yeah, I used to just walk these plasma TVs out of Target, and one day I got caught, which isn't hard.
No.
Like to just walk back. You know what's hard? Moving to a completely new city, trying to chase something that's almost impossible to get, that so many people are chasing. That's fucking tough. You know what makes you tough? Fucking, I'm going to keep getting up on stage even if I buy. Like, that's fucking tough.
You feel me?
Robbing someone at gunpoint isn't tough. You have a gun. Like, you're not tough.
Yes, nigga, go rob some nigga with nunchucks. Yeah. Then I'd be like, yo, this nigga crazy.
I think about it all the time because when I went to jail, people wouldn't fuck with me as much because I'm a bigger guy.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, then you can really see whoever steps to the bigger guy when you have no weapons except the ones you can kind of, make. Like, that's fucking tough.
Exactly.
So I completely agree with you. There is a difference between. Yeah.
I've met tough guys.
I've met don't even. Yeah.
And I'm like, all right, because I'm like, the thing is about me, I'm like, I get mad and I could go like to 100, but it like takes me a little bit because I'm just like, you know what it is? I don't give a fuck about stuff that much.
Yeah.
Nigga, I really don't care about anything. So when people are like, I'm a fucking, like, what you said about me? I'm like, dude, somebody could be like, yo, shut the fuck up, dickhead. I'm not gonna get mad.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm gonna be like, all right, you're just expressing yourself. This is how you express it.
People have told me before, they think like, oh, Brennan, you seem like a big scary guy, but you're not. You're like a softie, which I actually like being kind of perceived that way.
Yeah.
Because like, in all actuality, if I get to the point where it's going to get physically violent, that's not good. Like, I have the scar on my forehead from getting in a fight and cutting my own face open. Like, if I get to the point where I put my head through a guy's window one time, his car window. I think I told that story on stage one time. But as the guy was rolling,
you're fucking white.
Well,
that's white shit, nigga.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying is like if it gets to the point of violence, I've already gone way too far. So I'm the same kind of way when like people are like yelling or talking shit, or like even on the subway, like when Savannah and I used to ride like to go places together. But when we used to ride, like if like some like relatively unstable looking person got on and tried to sit, like one time a dude tried to sit like almost on her, and I got up and I was like, yo, like back up, that's too close. And she's like, oh, you just told him to back up. And I was like, I'm not going to beat the shit out of him on the, like, what?
She really said you just told him to back up?
I was like, oh, I had you. She goes, she's like, not really. You just told him to back up. And I was like, okay, like she's like, I don't know what I was supposed to do, but all right, I totally get it. But I enjoy not being like, I do get mad a lot and like people at work make fun of me.
I get irritable.
Yeah,
that's
but
different.
I don't get like, like if you want to see mad, like you could see mad.
Yeah, so that's why I'm like, I never care. Like, one of my boys is like, you know, he doesn't like disrespect at all. And I'm like,
Oh, I know those people.
no,
too.
but like my boy, he's like that, and like, and he could fight. And he,
When you just say one thing and you didn't even like, I've had people
drinks,
like that.
he's like that.
Oh,
though.
really?
When he drinks, he's like that more.
Yeah.
But like, and I always was like, and he's like, man, you know, you're like, I could tell that he's like, yo, you're being mad soft, like you're just too polite. And I was like, bro, I've done so much criminal shit, and I've proved my tough. I don't care.
Yeah.
You
have nothing more to prove.
What am I gonna? What else, bro? And then like it's not that I've proven my toughness. Is that I've been through it so much that I realize, oh, this is not really worth it.
Mm-hmm.
And the problem is now in my life, I'm like, yo, listen, I'll apologize first. But if you push me, then so like one time we had road rage, and I had my gun on me. That was you know, and then I was yesterday. Now imagine, a while ago yesterday. No. Like a while ago, a minute ago, been a few years, but then, so
on my way in today.
A few years, an hour ago. No. Dude, we were road raging. I probably was being a little bit of dick. I was just trying to pass him. I like driving fast and then the thing about speeding is so retarded because the person is always gonna catch up.
Oh yeah, especially in New York.
Dude, the most
you're
retarded.
Going to hit traffic.
Yes, nigga. Every time I sped, I've even timed it when I was like, oh, I didn't save. I saved 2 minutes. I timed it, bro. That's the nerd in me. I'm like, I'm gonna time this today. Fucking loser. It was so. And then you see what I hate about myself is that I'll do that empirical proof and then I'll still do it.
And then you're still like, no, I still gotta go fast.
So the dude comes up to my thing and he's like, what the? He was in the Rebel school. What the fuck, man? Blah, blah, blah. Some Puerto Rican looking dude. What the fuck, man? This is my road too. I knew he was gonna come because I could already tell because he was like,
you could tell he
looked like a chicken, you know? And I go into my glove compartment, take my shit off safety. I had like a little chest vest, put my gun in there. He comes up. I rolled the window a little bit. I didn't roll it all the way because I didn't want him to try to punch me.
Yeah.
Because if he tried to punch me, I'm shooting him.
Yeah.
I already knew. So in my head, before he came up to the car, I was like, I'm going to shoot him twice to 3 times. I already knew where. I was like, try to hit him in the leg and stomach. I was like, don't shoot above the stomach. I already knew, bro. Like in my head, I was like, I'm going to shoot him like this, and this. He comes up, he starts yelling. You know, it's my road too. Oh, it's safe. And then I was like, yeah, maybe I'm making this guy feel unsafe. And remember, in that situation,
while you're having, while you have a pistol on your chest, you're like, yeah, maybe I did.
Maybe I was being insensitive, you know. And remember, I lock up, so I don't know how to talk a lot when that happens because I'm like. Even with a gun, I'm like, I lock, like, it's just, and...
well, because that charge is a lot bigger, too.
It wasn't I don't care about the charge.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's a problem.
Yeah.
Like, when I'm in the situations, like, I just go with what I feel. And it's not good.
I've actually,
Because I want to shoot someone. That's the problem. Like, I want to, like...
give me a reason.
Yeah, which is not... I'm just like, I wish a nigga would.
Yeah.
While I got it. I wish. Please.
Well, that's like the whole thing that happened with the knife with me was... Like, we got into a fight, and I literally pulled a knife out. And the only reason, at the time, I ended up cutting my own face was because all my teammates grabbed me. And they were like, calm down. And that's when I was like, I'll fucking kill you. And, like, but like you said, in the moment, I'm not thinking about, like, losing my scholarship or getting kicked off. In the moment, I was like, I cannot accept this level of disrespect.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to fucking kill everyone.
Yeah. But I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm sorry.
Oh, you apologize?
Yeah, I don't care about apologies. Remember, I don't care about looking pussy because I will. In my head, I'm really gonna hurt this guy.
Yeah, and
like it doesn't hurt. I won't like it. I don't feel it.
Did he back up when you apologized?
No, so he like. Fucking, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
And then he was like looking at his pocket, and then I was like, "Oh, let's go." I was like this. I was just looking at his pocket.
This is why we play the game.
I was like, I already apologized. Go ahead, keep pushing. And then I'm like this. I got my shit here because I'm gonna lower the window because I'm not gonna shoot through the window.
Yeah,
I'm gonna lower the window and I'm gonna go boom, 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 just unload on all here. I can't hit him in the inside of the leg. I don't want to kill him.
That's a femoral artery.
Yeah, that's a femoral artery. So I'm just gonna, bro, that nigga's not gonna eat for a while. So I'm gonna And then he didn't find change, luckily for him. So then he's like, yo, fucking go ahead. The light changed red. Go fucking ahead. He's still yelling. And then I was like, all right, thank you, man. And I was like, I'm going to still show you that I could have fucking done
Killed
that.
you, yeah.
Yeah, if I wanted to. Just because
Yeah.
I didn't, because I wanted. But then, you know, this shit is stupid.
Yeah.
What am I going to, I'm going to lose what? For what?
For what?
But that's the problem.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, don't push me too far, bro. Because
I completely agree with you. It's something that people don't understand where they see how like laughy and jokey and how silly we can be. So they're just like, oh, they're, you know, they're, and I mean, obviously you have more of a reputation than I do because I just moved up here. So people don't like know me. Like no one in New York City has ever seen me drunk and like rage out because I've been sober since I got here.
yeah.
So it's one of those things where people are like, "Oh, Brennan just is, you know, he just talks a lot." And I was like, and in my head, I'm like, that's fine. Again, going back to what we said earlier, it's like I don't care if I have that reputation, but you don't, just don't do it.
But that's why I got face tattoos because I was like, a lot of people I used to be very goofy and step the line.
Yeah,
and I'm like, bro, you don't know what I've done.
Yeah.
You don't know what I'm capable. I could chop your arm off and like smile in your face.
That's why I love the fact that you do have face tattoos because whenever I introduce you to like random friends of mine that are like we're at the stand or something and then I see you and I'll introduce you to people, you like give, you know, me and you give each other a big hug and we'll like start grabbing each other and being silly. Yeah. And they go, that was weird. And I go, why? And they go, he's got teardrops. And I go, oh yeah, those are real too.
Yeah.
That's not.
Yeah, so that's
not
thing.
Like let me get something done.
Yeah, no.
I'm like, those are real. And they go, yeah, but he seems so silly. I go, yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Even I was talking to my boy about this yesterday. I can be very silly and switch it on because the more I learn how to fight and the more comfortable I am with fighting and understanding like myself and all that stuff, I realize that, yeah, you can really switch off.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I'm like, if a fight breaks out, I'm fighting. If my friends are getting hit, I'm fighting. And I'm still silly, but if that happens, I can. So the older I get, I learn how to switch it on and off.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's getting me more comfortable and being like dumb. And like being so goofy.
Because you know in the back of your head, if you need to turn it on, you can.
Yes. So the more I've learned that, the less serious I've gotten.
The people who are like aggressive or violent all the time, I would venture to say are the most insecure people.
100%.
The reason why I can be silly and goofy, especially like with you or like with other people and like joke around and like grab each other's dicks and like be silly, is because I know in the back of my head if something happens, like I'll be all right. Like,
I painted my nails and at first I always thought I would never paint my nails. I would never. I was
you
like,
got a lot going on too.
Yeah. But then I seen A$AP Rocky. I've seen it for a while, and I was like, I was with my girl, and my girl always is like, bro, just stop. You don't. Not everything you do is being a man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like trying to make me gay, and let me just peg you. I'm like, fucking you, maybe. No. She's trying to like. And another girl gave me a good point where I was like, I pay for stuff because I'm a man.
Yeah.
I do certain things, like I'll protect you. And she's like, why do you have to be a man to do that? Why is it not just that you care about me?
That's a good point.
I was like, damn, this whore is peaking too.
People tell me that all the time because I used to always defer to having sisters. Yeah, that's why I'm so comfortable around women. Yeah, because I'm very comfortable around women, and sometimes like I've had exes like be like, "Oh, you're flirting," and I go, "No, this is just how I talk because this is how I'm comfortable." Yeah, and people always go, "Why does it have to be you grew up with sisters? Why can't you just understand and respect women?" And I go, well, I understand and respect women, I think, better than most men because I grew up with sisters. And they go, yeah, but you don't have to always say, oh, it's because I grew up with sisters. Like, in your case, you don't always say, oh, I pay because I'm the man. It's like, you can just pay because you want to pay.
You want to pay, yeah.
And it's like...
I was like, oh, yeah.
I guess. I guess being a man has nothing to do with it.
Yeah, I was like, fucking, you're right.
I want to get into some of these stories before we get too far off track. You had a going away party. What was that for? Where were you going? When was that?
So I grew up in Brooklyn, Sunset Park. And
Shouts out.
Yeah, shout out to Sunset. I moved back over there. It's great, dude. My block is so quiet. And
you made it that way.
Yeah, that's right. But next door there's gangsters like Bloods, but they're not loud. Surprisingly, they're like quiet Bloods. They're respectable Bloods.
The one thing that always frustrated me, especially being locked up, was the guys that would sleep all day and then yell and scream all night.
bro.
And I'd be like, dude, because I was a trustee, because once you get sentenced, you get a job.
Yeah.
So I had to be up at like 5:30 every morning to go to the substation to like wash cars and stuff. And I'm like, dude, like you guys have to shut the fuck up.
They would just be bugging out.
Yeah, just yelling and screaming and talking shit, and which is all well and good, but it's like, I got to be up in 3 hours.
Yeah, bro.
And then they would sleep all day because they were violent offenders. So every time they gave them a trustee spot, they would fuck it up. So then they just didn't have a job. So they would just sleep all day.
That's the thing about people. Like I seen Mike Tyson talk about it. They were like, those guys are tough, and like those guys are. And it's like, no, you're just a degenerate.
Yeah, you're just a dickhead.
Yeah, you're just a fucking dickhead that doesn't know how to not be a dickhead.
Well, and so your gangster neighbors know how to be.
So boom, they know how to be quiet,
functioning members of society.
Yeah. but we were in the 60s. I lived in the 60s, and I threw a crazy going away party. We had to tap.
So where were you
people up.
moving to?
The Bronx.
Okay.
My mom moved. So bro, we fucking.
How old were you?
Like 20.
Okay, so you're still younger.
Like, yeah, I was in college, so like 20.
So you just threw
20.
this massive party.
And then mad people came fucking patting people down. They're like, "You gonna pat me down?" I'm like, "Dude, it's just a protocol. Like, I just don't want to."
I'm patting everybody down. Yeah.
Then my fucking stupid ass friend, he's a fucking meathead. He brought his Lion King friends, and he's like, "Man," he just lied. He's like, "Man, they're leaving. He's getting locked up Tuesday." So I grew up with this kid, so I was like, "All right," but this kid is a rat, bro.
Yeah,
fucking hater rat, and I told my brother, I was like, I don't talk to that nigga. I've been not talk to him. He's like, we just play games. And little by little, he started realizing,
Oh, really?
He just talks. He's like a loser, nigga. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And he fucking brung his friends. And I used to be in the opposite gang. But we got cool because
Yeah.
We grew up together. So.
Well, and also comedy. If you're funny, you can get, like you were saying about Cardi B.
But I just grew up with him.
Yeah.
So, and he bought them. I'm like, all right. They were being mad respectful. And then fight broke out.
There's always and then.
Dude, a fight broke out. I had a machete. I was walking around with a machete. All right? And I was like, yo, y'all niggas got to chill the fuck out. Like, because we could get it, whatever. I did a stupid ass unnecessary speech that you realize you're like, shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Fuck shut up, you fag. And you could believe that. You know what I mean? Like you.
Oh, I know exactly
back at
what
your
you
shit.
mean.
And you're like, oh, you fucking cornball.
Oh yeah.
And
I do this shit all the time.
Yeah, I'm like,
I'll be at work before a busy night. I'm like, let's kick the tires and light the fires. Here we go, you guys. Let's lock it up. Yeah. Let's keep the expo window clear. And in my head afterwards, I'm like, just shut the fuck up.
Yo, like, dog. So I got mad. People were fucking partying. Fucking music is getting disconnected because fucking people keep stepping on the wire. But we're fucking, it's a crazy party when on the wall there's butt prints because the girls are dubbing on them.
Okay.
And the guys are like, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was crazy. Everybody's drinking. I didn't drink because I didn't drink anymore. But I haven't drank since I was 18.
Okay.
So I started drinking at 30. So, nigga, we start bugging out. We're wilding out. Ah! Dude, the cops come. We got a gun upstairs in the roof. The cops come, right? Some guy tried to come in the house. We were like, nah.
A cop tried to come in the house?
No, some kid.
Okay.
And because my boy, another fucking degenerate, he tried to, they robbed something and they robbed my boy. So when the kid came, I was like, yo, you can't come in because you fucked around with my boy.
Yeah.
And then my boy's in there. He's like, oh, no, we squashed that already. I was like, what? Niggas don't update me on this shit. Dude, one time I was going to stab a kid. And then my boy was like, oh, yeah. And then the kid followed me. He's like, I heard you're going to stab me when you see me. I was like, yeah. I'm going to stab you. And I had a big ass kitchen knife. And my boy was there, the one that was saying it. He's like, bro, we been squashed that. I was like,
somebody needs to update me on this.
Yeah, I was like, my nigga. Update me, my nigga. Nigga.
I almost stabbed this guy.
Literally. But we spoke about it. And one of them brought a kid.
Really?
At a park. They were following us. We didn't know. And he had a baby with him. I was like, I'm going to stab you and your baby, nigga. Nah. Yeah, he wants some titty milk? I got you. No, so.
So the cop showed up?
Yeah, the kid couldn't come, whatever. They were chilling in the hallway trying to grill. I was like, bro, we got it on us, nigga. Like, don't even do it. Because he was with a big-ass black dude. Mm-hmm. But I was like, I'm going to shoot you even more.
Yeah.
Just because you're bigger than me, I'm gonna just.
You're not bulletproof.
Yeah, I'm like, what, nigga? What? So I'm comfortable. I'm chilling, nigga. And nigga, like I said, I don't care if stabbing you, shooting you. I don't care. So I was like, whatever. The cops come, nigga. So they're like, police. We were like, I opened the door. I'm like, hey, what's up? And they're like trying to barge in. My twin brother's there. Everybody's there. And the king nigga was mad big too. He gets down. That nigga he's tough. That nigga's a tough dude. And this nigga runs. He's like, let us in. And we're like, no, what do you want? And then they try to come in and we were like, nah, nigga. And the king nigga was like, nah, fuck that. And my brother came and we all came and we boom, closed it. We almost broke a fucking cop's arm. Nigga, we were like, fuck that, fuck y'all niggas. And we kicked them niggas out. They try to rush into the crib. Like,
and you guys just slammed the door in the face.
Like the doors are like more than half open.
Yeah.
So it was like a few cops. And they started trying to push in and we're like, what are you doing? I was like, nah. And then everybody rushed the door. They're like, fuck out of here. And they were like, yo, let us in. And we were like, suck my dick, nigga.
The fuck out of here.
Yeah. We were like, suck my dick, fuck out of here, nigga. Get a warrant, pussy. Right? We're just yelling, talking shit to them. And then they knock again and they're like, excuse me? Can I speak to you a little bit? So they spoke. They were like, yo, listen, we're getting complaints. Y'all got to, turn down the music. And
excuse me?
Yeah. Hi. And then they spoke to us like people, nigga.
Yeah.
So they were like, we got to go in. I was like, I don't know. So they get kicked out, right? Then my boy, one of my boys that had the gun upstairs, he comes down, starts jumping on the cops. They start trashing the cop car. Yeah, fuck these niggas. He got caught.
Yeah, obviously.
Because he was drunk. But yo, niggas were wilding on the cop car, wilding out. Then the cop, everybody leaves, whatever. Then we obviously get them back. But they come in, my machete's on the thing, and he's like,
the cops come in?
Yeah. He's like, oh my God, a machete. Oh, Lord.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, Jesus. But they can't do nothing because a machete is legal to have in your house. Yeah. And then they left, and then we fucking ran it back, nigga.
Hell
and then the next day, the kid that I didn't let in my house, we fought.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, he came back the next, and they were like, this guy is downstairs to fight you. I was like, oh, fuck. So we all got knives. We all were knifed up because I didn't know who they bought. Mm-hmm. So my brother had a knife. My boys had knives. Like, if something went off, everybody. Like,
everyone's getting stabbed.
Yeah, like, if they bought 10 niggas, everybody's getting. I'm cutting a lot, I'm a butcher. So no, nothing happened. We fought, whatever.
You just fought.
I hurt I broke my cartilage. It was the first time I broke it because I went to swing and he moved back.
Oh, and
that's the first time I felt
you threw it out. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, it was cool. And then I moved. It was fun.
So then you moved to the Bronx?
Yeah, I hate the Bronx.
When did you start? You said you hate the Bronx?
I fucking hate that place.
You're in Brooklyn now, though, right?
Yeah,
You're back home, baby. BK, stand up.
Stand up. Nah.
So when did you said you stopped drinking at 18? When did you start drinking?
At 30th for my birthday, 30th.
No. But so you just never drank up until you were 30?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. I didn't smoke. I didn't drink. I started smoking like a year before comedy. Okay. Because they were prescribing me Xanax, and my boy's like, don't fuck that shit.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I never took it.
Yeah.
I took it like twice, and I was like, like it was like a different, not Xanax, but a different one.
Klonopin?
No. It was like a benzo.
Okay.
It's still a benzo. Yeah. And then he was like, no, people get fucked up on that. I always heard that. I never and that's white people shit. We always said it. So
yeah, Xanax is a big thing in the fucking
nigga.
The suburban communities and stuff.
That shit works though.
Oh yeah, it affects the same part of your brain as drinking does. That front part. So like I self-medicated with booze forever, but in my situation with my anxiety and stuff, normally they would just prescribe you Xanax. In fact, at one point in my life when I was like, I've been self-medicating, like I need to get off drinking, that's what they did. They prescribed me Klonopin, which is a time-release form of Xanax, and then Xanax.
Yeah.
And then Adderall, too. And it almost fucking killed me. Because I just started being like, pills.
Yeah. So
you didn't start drinking until recent, like in the last couple of years?
Yeah, I've been getting I'm an alcoholic at this point right now.
You think so?
Yeah, since July, I'm drinking every day almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So what has it been like to start? So why didn't you want to get fucked up when you were younger?
Well, when I changed my life, I just didn't want none of that shit.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, none of that. And I didn't care about drinking.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was cool. I liked it, but
there's some people who naturally have a vibe where they can have like a good time without it.
Dude,
I would definitely put you in that category. I'd say if I'm around the right people, I can be like that, where I'm like having a good time. The only time it kind of fucks with me is when I'm around people and they're all getting like fucked up. and I'm not drinking, then it's kind of weird because I'm like, well, you guys. It's one thing if everyone's having a couple of drinks, but you guys are like fucking obliterated.
Oh yeah.
So
I don't
then-
drink like that.
then it's
Like
weird,
I've
yeah.
only done it like got fucked up like that recently, like 3 times maybe. And
Okay.
I'm not like I just get home and knock out.
Yeah.
But I drink so much water because I don't want a headache. So I always drink mad
It's so interesting
water.
because you started drinking so much later in life. Like you're cognizant of all this stuff.
Yeah.
Like when we all started drinking in like our late teens, early 20s, we were just getting fucked up, and then you wake up the next day and you want to die, and you have no idea why.
That's happened to me. That's happened to
Yeah?
me. Dude, I woke up and I'm like,
When was this?
Dude, when I was young, me and my boy drank half a bottle of E&J, the
Okay.
big ones.
Yeah, yeah.
And I woke up, nigga. I was throwing up. My boy, the one that died, saved me because I was dying. I was choking on my vomit because I
Yeah.
was so drunk.
You were just passed out on your
Yeah,
back.
and I threw up and I started choking. And he like looked at me. He's like, "What the fuck?" And I'm just like choking. And then he came and he's like, "Yo, yo, 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 yo," and he
gotta
put me
turn
on
him
my
on the
side.
side, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm just like,
God.
yeah, crazy, nigga. We used to get crazy, but then even then, I woke up with a headache that was killing me, but I slept through, and then I woke up. I was good.
Yeah, I've woken up because I've gotten alcohol poisoning a few times, and I've woken up to
Really?
where like you can't even like if you just do like this, like just move your head a little, you like start vomit. Like you're so sensitive to like movement and light, like you feel like you're gonna fucking die. It's the fucking worst.
Wow.
You have to drink a lot though for that to happen. Then you have to go and get like your stomach pumped, and it's a whole thing.
But okay, when they pump your stomach, do you still wake up like that?
Yeah, oh yeah.
They don't give you IV?
Well, so that's the thing is a lot of times. So in the 3 times that it's happened to me, I've been given the IV twice, and I've only had my stomach pumped once. But when I had the stomach pump, you obviously you wake up when you regain consciousness. You're in the hospital, and they're like, "Yeah, we had to pump your stomach and stuff." But it's a different kind of thing because like your throat obviously is killing you because they shove a tube down your throat and then pump charcoal into your stomach to kind of like deactivate everything and make you throw up. So you still feel like shit. It's just a different kind of shit.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you still wake up like, what the fuck happened? It's just different.
So where did you get your what happened? Well, how much did you fuck a bottle, nigga? Of
Oh yeah,
liquor?
like so the listeners are probably sick of hearing about this because I talk about it a lot. But the last time I got alcohol poisoning was the last time I drank, and I went through a handle and a half of Smirnoff vodka in like 36 hours. And I ended up in the hospital.
Oh, I didn't think that was long. 36 hours?
Well, yeah, but I mean, it's 1.75, so it's the big one.
I know, but I
And then
thought
I went through one of those and a half, and yeah, like 36.
one
like
and a half.
yeah, in like a day and a half. So I started drinking on a Tuesday afternoon, and then I woke up in the hospital on Thursday.
Fuck.
Yeah, and there's 40 shots per handle, so it's probably 60 shots, give or take.
So that's like fuck.
It's a lot. It was a lot. My blood alcohol was 0.38, and the doctor said, he goes, yeah, we have people who come in with a blood alcohol this high, but they normally don't wake up. Like normally this, and then obviously being the comic, I go, well, I've been training for this my whole life, and he was like, this is not funny.
He's like, shut dick.
Shut the fuck up. That's what he told
For
me.
real?
No, he goes, this isn't a joke. Like you shouldn't be making jokes. Like you have to change your life. You should be dead right now. And that's when I got sober.
Holy shit, nigga. God damn.
Come to the one man show. That's what it's about.
Holy
January
shit,
30th.
nigga. You. Damn.
Let's get back on you though, because the listeners are sick of hearing about me. I want to talk about Mexico. We have about 10 minutes left. I definitely want to talk about this Mexico story.
Yeah.
So you went to Mexico. You went with a friend. We're not going to give too many details about it, but
With friends. It was my boy's birthday.
Okay.
It was recently. That was recently. So I go. I'm with my boys. It's a fucking, it's my boy's birthday. His family's there. It's a couple thing. Me and my 3 boys, my boy's in a relationship back home, but me and my other boy, we're not. We were single at the time. And
yeah, you were.
Yeah, we were. Slinging kick. And we go to Mexico. And the first night, my boy was like, yeah, I'm down to go smoke hookah and chill. But it was kind of whack. So the second night, I was like, I want to do that again. I just want to be around women, bro.
Yeah.
I'm tired of being like around niggas in relationships. It wasn't bad, but it's like, I want bitch. I like,
Yeah, sometimes
even
you
if
get
I'm not
sick of it.
fucking, I just want bitches around me.
That vibe.
You know?
Yeah, oh yeah. I trust me. I fucking know.
Yeah. So I go, boom. I go the next day. They didn't want to come. So I was like, I'm going by myself. Fuck that. So I go by myself.
To the hookah place?
Yeah. So I post up in the hookah place. There's mad bars around it. So I post up. I'm drinking, smoking hookah. I'm vibing out. there's a girl in front of me giving me the crazy eye. So I was like, what's up? So we start talking for a little bit. Woo, woo, woo. I was like, where you going after this? She's like, I'm going to a friend, hit me up, blah, blah, blah. That fell through. I talked to some WNBA player there. I got her info.
Oh, really?
I was like, you got a man? She's like, yeah. We start dancing. I start grabbing her ass and all that. And I was like, that nigga, yeah. You know the corny, that nigga, yeah. So as I'm leaving, I drank a few shots. As I'm leaving, I go up. I forgot what I did. I was going up. Then I started coming down towards the hookah bar again. And some girl that was there, she stopped me. She's like, hey, where you going? 2 girls. I was like, I don't know. I'm probably just going to head home or whatever. I was like, what are you doing? And we started talking. And then I'm talking to her. I'm like, she's mid, you know? Like, she's all right looking. Then I turned to her friend because I was talking like, so one thing I've been doing, especially when talking to girls, I just lock in.
Yeah.
And, you know, girls tell me they like that a lot. And then I shift to her friend. Her friend was fucking bad, bro. So I'm like, yo, where are you doing? Bro, I was in that shit. So I'm doing crazy, like, fuck you eyes and shit. And my nigga, that bitch was so fucking fire. And if I had a fucking picture of this bitch on my phone, I would have shown you, but my phone got, I fixed it recently. So we go, I was like, yo, we out. Let's go to another spot. But all the spots close at 2. I was like, yo, we could find something. So we find a spot that closes at 3, nigga.
Okay.
So I was like, let's go up. We go up. I was like, yo, I'm going to buy a whole bottle because a bottle there's like 100 something.
Yeah,
so I was like, let's buy a fucking bottle. I buy a bottle. I got 2 bitches shaking the ass. I'm on my story. I'm just fucking recording just bitches. I'm just with bitches, nigga. So I'm like, let's fucking get it. I'm smoking hookah, smacking ass. I'm smacking both of that. I'm on king of the
world.
Yo, fucking, I'm vibing. I'm like, hell yeah, Mexico, let's go. So we leave, right? She's like, let's go to that beach. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, these bitches could be setting me up.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
But
I'm from Brooklyn, nigga. You heard?
So you thought about it.
No, and I'm like, I'll kill anybody. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, let's get it, nigga. Like, you know what I mean? And if I have to give somebody some money, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
But, like, they're not going to rape me or do some weird shit, you know? And I'm rocking somebody. If they don't have any, bro, somebody's getting this shit rocked in. So I'm like, whatever. So we're walking down. Shorty's feeling me. I'm like, blah, 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 you know? And we're walking to the beach because she was like, I want to go to the beach. They were in a condo by themselves. So I'm like, all right, say less. While we're walking to the beach, some random nigga comes out of nowhere. No, I get stopped by the cops first. I'm with the bitch. I'm like, ha, ha, ha. I see the cop car. Because in New York, you can talk shit to the cops. Like, what's up, nigga?
Yeah.
So I go to the cop. I'm like, yo, what up, Gway? Gway means like dumbass to them.
Oh,
but
really?
they use it as nigga.
Yeah.
And he's like, what you just said to me? And I saw that he got mad. And I was like, what's up, nigga? Like, what's up, Gway?
Yeah.
And that nigga he's like, yo, stop right there. So they stop us.
Oh, no.
And one of her friends was smoking weed.
Which is that not legal in Mexico?
No, nigga.
Okay.
So she's smoking weed, but she was ahead of us. I'm talking to the shorty. She just dipped off like she wasn't with us. And she went and sat down. She just watched the whole thing. She's smoking weed. And then the cop stopped me. He's like, what you got? What you drinking? I was like, nigga, this is a Sprite. Nigga, like, I'm drinking Sprite. Nigga, they searched me OD. They searched shorty OD. She's like, you know, he's like, why you disrespecting me? He's like, you know I could take you to jail right now? I was like, I didn't disrespect you. I'm drunk. I'm like, I didn't disrespect you, nigga. And he's like, yeah, Gway means this here. I was like, all right, that means that here, but like where I come from, that doesn't mean. He's like, yeah, but that's mad disrespectful, you know? I was like, yeah, I don't care. That doesn't mean what it means where I'm from. So you get what I'm telling you? So he's just trying to act tough and shit. So I just start looking at him in his eyes. Like, then I'm getting mad because I'm like, bro, you just being a dickhead to be a dickhead just because you think I'm foreign. Like, what's up, nigga? Like, what's up? You want to throw me in jail? I'll survive.
Yeah.
So he's like, you want to go to jail? I'm drunk, right? I'm like, what? He's like, you want to go to jail? I was like, all right, give me a second. I just want to see what she want to do. Yo, he told me if I wanted to go to jail twice. I was like, all right, just give me a second. Let me see if she wants to go.
To her.
Yeah. I was like,
what do you want to do tonight?
Yo, you want to go to jail? He's like, I could lock you up for 38 hours, 36 hours. I was like, okay. I was like, dude, I just looked at him. I was like, okay.
So did he end up leaving you alone?
Yeah. There's 2 girl cops searched her twice.
Wow.
Like, they fucking searched the shit out of her.
She's
like, I don't have any.
She had something. Yeah.
Yeah, and she was tatted up too. I'm tatted up.
Yeah.
You know, so they were like, oh, she was so fucking sexy, my nigga. She's mad sexy, bro. Mad fucking sexy.
So what ended up happening?
Fucking Mexican girl, cute Mexican girl. like with a braid, a big ass braid, nigga, and it was all real hair. She has real like curvy like Mexican hair, fucking thick, tattoos, sexy, bitch. Nigga, fire, nigga. I was like, Mexico, let's go. So I go to their condo. Some nigga, while we're walking down to the beach, some nigga pulls up. So now I'm on demon time.
So you run into the cops, deal with that whole situation, and then as you guys are walking to the beach, another dude pulls up?
Yeah, so now I'm on demon time because I'm like, oh, they could be setting me up.
Yeah.
So he's like, what's up? Being mad friendly to the girl. Oh, hi. I'm just being mad like.
Did they know that guy? Could you tell if they knew
my
him or
nigga.
not? Okay.
No, they didn't know the guy.
Okay.
So they're acting like they don't know the guy, but I'm like acting like this is a setup, nigga.
Yeah.
There's no nigga that comes out of nowhere talking to some bitches I'm talking. So I'm like on go, but this bitch is from LA. They're both from LA.
Okay.
They were just there on vacay.
Oh, wow.
One is working remote.
Yeah.
So that nigga pulls up. So I'm like, what's up? I'm on go, nigga. So I'm like, he's like, yo, I'm this nigga. I'm like, what's up, nigga? Like, what up? So I'm on demon time. So I'm like, all right. And they're like, you're being mean to him. I was like, I didn't want to tell them. I was like, I feel like you're setting me up.
Yeah.
I can't be like that.
You can't say that.
And then they were like, yo, you were being so mean to him. I was like, word? I just didn't even.
I was? What?
Word? That's crazy. So we go to the beach.
I'm a little drunk, huh?
So I'm being mad cold to this nigga. I was like, how you know this bitch? He's like, I don't know her. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I don't. I was like, all right.
You just showed up?
I was like, all right, I'm gonna fuck her friend. He knew English too. I'm like, nigga, what? So whatever. We're at the beach. I'm kissing with this hoe and this lovely lady. And dude, she's bad, bro. She's so bad, bro. Fuck the shit out this bitch. Damn, she wanted me to fuck her way too hard though. Like I'm aggressive nigga in bed. Like I be smacking and choking bitches, but like my nigga, she wanted me like to literally fuck her like this. I was like,
That's
God,
aggressive. That's
I'm
aggressive.
like, God damn, nigga, this bitch wants me to assault her vagina. And so I ended up sleeping over.
Okay.
After the beach, we go over. I'm fucking her in the bathroom, whatever. I sleep, I knock out. I tell my boys, like, yo, I'm here. I thought I sent my location. Nigga, my boys about to call the cops. Thought they got kidnapped. my boys were like, if you didn't hit me up, I was gonna call the police.
I was very worried about you.
And then everybody was like, oh my God, where were you? I'm like, nigga, in Mexico. What do you mean?
Well, yeah, we're in Mexico.
Partying. But yo, it could have been bad, though.
God,
but that shit was fun. And then we hung out with them again.
That's awesome.
And then my boy, bro, and then her friend was like, come to my house. And didn't let my boy hit the second time. And then I woke up and got sick as fuck. Nigga.
Oh, really?
Came back on the plane. I was like, I'm sick. I got a sore throat. And then when we came back, I was like, nigga, like deadly. I just had to sleep. Like I had to like rest.
Damn, man.
I was my stomach. My nigga, I was bro, ass pissed, bro.
Oh, yeah, that happens in Mexico.
Yo, and I didn't drink the water or nothing, nigga.
Sometimes people say if you get ice in a drink, people don't think about it, but it's that same
It's
water.
Yeah. A lot of people don't know
This was
that.
fun, dude.
Yeah, damn.
Thank you for coming on.
More crazy stories.
Yeah, we'll get into it next time.
Yeah.
Plug everything one more time. Let everyone know where they can find you.
Follow me at Kanye Was Right. You can't say the truth no more. Nah. Leo Comedy 7 on Instagram, and I'll post all my shows there.
Perfect.
Check me out on the gay. I'm there sometimes.
This was a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, this was cool.
Thank you, everybody, for listening. At Brennan T Comedy on all social media. Check out the One Man Show January 30th. Get your tickets, BrennanTComedy.com. Get your merch. Subscribe on Patreon. We'll talk to y'all next week.